Hello everybody! Welcome to my channel. What if the secret to success was breaking things apart? In this video I'm going to crush your fear of starting something unfamiliar, complicated. I'll show you real-life examples of how to break down any big task into simple, actionable steps. Every major accomplishment starts with this approach. Begin with bullets, move on to shells, and finally launch the missiles. Let's explore how this simple strategy can lead to extraordinary success. Let's start from the very beginning. Life itself begins with division. The very first act of creating in the human body is cell division. Even before we are born, we begin by separating, evolving, growing, and becoming through this process of dividing. The moment we leave the mother's womb is our first independent step, our first separation, our first division. And that moment marks the beginning of our journey. Sometimes we look at successful people, rich, prosperous, perfect-looking, and think, this is unachievable. It seems too far away, too hard, almost impossible, but that's just how it looks at first glance. What you see is the result. What you don't see are the steps, the small parts, the portions, the daily actions that led to that success. And that's where we need to look, into the core. There's an old Latin saying, divide et impera, divide and conquer. Historically, it was a strategy of empires to control nations. But what if we turn that strategy inward? What if we use it not to dominate others, but to master ourselves? Divide your goal, divide your fear, divide your mountain of challenges, and conquer each part step by step. Don't have to fight the whole war at once. Just win one battle today. When you divide with purpose, you don't lose power, you gain control, and from control comes progress. That's how you reach the greatness, one part at a time. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming tasks into small, manageable tasks, and starting on the first one. Mark Twain. Let's start with a simple example. To be honest, I'm a lazy person, and doing a full hour of morning exercise felt almost impossible. So I found a solution. I broke my workout into parts. On YouTube, I discovered tons of short workouts for different parts of the body, each lasting just 10-15 minutes. It was perfect for me. I picked trainers I really liked. One for warm-ups, another for arms, one for legs, one for neck and shoulders, and then others for stretching, yoga and breathing exercises. I enjoy all of them individually. After each 15-minute session, I take a short break, then choose which trainer I want to follow for the next round, and then the next. That way I get through an hour-long workout almost effortlessly. What used to feel hard and boring now feels easy and enjoyable, and that's exactly why I never skip my daily routine. Now sample for those who is lacking the discipline during the day. First, write down a plan for a day. Then I divide my day into parts. Each part is small action. Fulfilling it one by one is the easy thing to do. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Tony Robbins. Now let's turn to historical events. Roald Amundsen, the Norwegian explorer who outsmarted the cold and became the first to reach the South Pole. That historic moment happened on December 14, 1911. He was the first human to ever stand there. Fantastic! But how did he do it? He studied Arctic survival from the Inuit people, made a smart strategy, and broke the trip into a simple rule: 20 miles a day. That's it. No more sunny days, no less in storms. 20 miles every single day. Total discipline. This 20-mile march kept their pace steady and their energy up. It was genius. This strategy, reaching a goal through small, steady steps, was also used by legendary psychotherapist Milton Erickson. It's a story about how even an Olympic medal can be won, not with raw power, but with tiny, focused steps. Donald Lawrence, a high school shot putter, was stuck at 58 feet. No matter how hard he trained, he couldn't go further. His father took him to Milton Erickson, a legendary psychotherapist. Erickson didn't change his form, he changed his mindset. He asked, "Can you feel the difference between 58 feet and 58 feet plus 1/16 of an inch?" Donald said no. That was the key. Erickson gave him a new strategy, train to improve just 1/16 of an inch at a time, not feet, just fractions. Each throw wasn't about breaking records. It was about getting slightly better, and it worked. Donald broke the high school record, then made the Olympic team. He won bronze, then gold 4 years later, and gold again after that. His journey shows us big goals are achieved through tiny, consistent gains. Success isn't always about pushing harder. Sometimes it's about training smarter, 1 inch at a time. So, whether you are aiming for a personal goal or an Olympic medal, remember, tiny steps can lead to big victories. And here's another story that fits perfectly with the idea of steady progress. This one comes from the world of archery and Zen philosophy. There was one a master archer who taught his students a lesson that had nothing to do with technique and everything to do with mindset. His most advanced student asked, "Master, how can I ensure that each arrow I release is perfect?" The master replied, "By treating every arrow as if it is your very first." At first, the student didn't understand. Why not treat it like the final one, or the most important one, he asked. The master smiled and explained, "When you treat each shot as your first, you carry no baggage from the one before. No pride, no frustration, no expectation. You are completely focused on this moment." The student practiced this every shot with a fresh mind, no matter if the last one hit the target or missed entirely. Over the time, his performance became steady, precise, and calm. He stopped chasing perfection and instead met it, one present moment at a time. This story shows us that achieving greatness isn't about rushing to the finish line. It's about presence, clarity, and focus. Each step, each attempt, each arrow deserves your full attention, as if it's the only one. So, whether you are working on a business, a fitness goal, or a dream project, approach each day as your first, not your best, not your last chance, just your first, and do it well. Now let's look at a real-life business story. What if one of the world's biggest travel companies started with an air mattress? In 2007, Brian Chesky and Joe Geber couldn't afford rent in San Francisco. A big design conference was in town. All hotels were sold out, so they rented out their apartment with breakfast and air beds. That's how the idea for air bed and breakfast was born, which later became Airbnb. Later, Nathan Blikarchik joined them, but no one paid much attention. So they launched novelty cereal boxes, Obama Oz and Captain McCain's, and made $30,000. That's got people talking. Joining the Y Combinator Startup Accelerator gave them their first real push. To boost bookings, they started taking professional photos of listings, and that simple move doubled results. Today, Airbnb operates in over 220 countries. And the secret, they broke the journey into stages. First came the bullets, small scrappy moves, then the shells, improvements and structure. Only after came the missiles, global growth. They didn't wait for the perfect moment, they just kept moving, one smart step at a time. And you can too. We are all used to seeing and hearing what we want to see and hear. Funny videos on social media, other people's success, a beautiful melody in a song, couples kissing in the park. But here's the thing, we only see the result, and it looks so appealing, so out of reach. When you look into the stories of successful people, you'll start to notice a pattern. Whether it's building a billion-dollar company, reaching the South Pole, winning Olympic gold, or just getting up early to work out, it all starts the same way. Not with a grand master plan, not with perfection, but with one intentional step. A bit of discipline and the drive to keep going, breaking down the big stuff into small, doable tasks. So take that first step, make it simple, make it real, and keep moving forward. If this helped you, hit like and drop a comment. What's one step you are taking today?